Hey, happy Monday. I'm driving to Batesville, and it's a long stretch of road. So I've had a conversation with two different customers today. It's the exact same conversation, and I thought, you know what? It's just time for you and I to have this conversation. And it's about your angle iron and your garage. This is also called a lintel that carries the brick or stone over your garage opening. So your garage opening is like this. It's not very good. Anyway, and so the angle iron sits on top of your garage opening. And so we're in Northeast Arkansas. And I'm gonna let some of y'all get on here. So this is a big problem, but I actually saw like a Facebook post on a Masonry group this weekend, and there was a whole lot of misdiagnosis on there about cracks. The picture, just so you know, like was of a crack over a garage door, and and this is a Masonry page, so several of the people were like, "Oh, that's settling, that's foundation." But 99.9% of the time, it's not foundation. It's a more of a structural issue, and the reason it's not foundation, or it could be, but it's not usually around here. So if you have a crack over your garage, like if this is your garage and this is the part that goes over, if your crack runs like up this way, but not down this way, then that has to do with the lintel and the span. The only time that could be foundation is if this crack up here is opening, and this side of your garage over here is like pulling away because of water erosion, or maybe a tree root is heaving that side of the house up and causing it to pull away this way. It's the only time it's going to be foundation. And even then, again, there's an outside source of water erosion or a tree root heaving. It's always around here. The lack of lag screws. So if this is your lintel, there should be screws along the top of the garage, along that angle iron or lintel on the back side, on this part. And all the brick companies send out boxes of screws, right, with their long lintels. They're about $7 a box, depending on when your house was built or whatever, so you kind of get the idea. It's not a super expensive thing. And they're big long screws, and they have a hex head on them, and it takes a tool to get those screwed in. But the people who call themselves bricklayers don't use those. Those don't get used. They at most might hammer in some of the nails that come with the wall ties. They might hammer a couple of those in. We've seen that in the past, but those rust. Every picture you'll find in my old posts, you'll see those all rusted out. And what happens? That lintel, whether there's nails in here or not, if that lintel is too thin, or not long enough, or not anchored in for the weight to carry all this brick over your garage door, this starts to bend, and this starts to bend, and it starts to do this. And what happens? You get cracks, and a lot of times this will start to bend first, and you'll get the cracks on either side of your garage door opening. So that's why sometimes you can see cracks on the side, but not in the middle. It's not until usually that you've got so much pull here that really starts to crack in the middle. Sometimes if there's a keystone in that center, it'll crack in the middle first. This second guy that I just talked to, he's got a window. A lot of times, there's a window over the garage door. it's not caulked, and so water's been, and they didn't do good on their windowsill, so the water's been getting down in there and getting down behind, and it rotted the wood underneath the lintel. So, you know, you've got all these factors in play. Every house basically in Northeast Arkansas has these same problems over and over and over. And so I'm having these conversations, like I said, twice. Today's a Monday, and I've had the same conversation on cause, effect. What do we do now? So that's why I'm sharing this with you. So what do we do now? It depends. It honestly depends. How bad has it gotten? Can you just tuck point it for now and watch it? That's usually, if it's not very bad, that's a pretty good idea. Because at some point, whether that is a year from now, like if you've let yours get really, really bad, and the second customer, his is really opened up, he sent me some pictures. I'm going to try to go there tomorrow to assess it. His is really opened up. So one thing to do is not open that garage door any more than you have to, because that vibration of the up and down, that makes the little bits of mortar break off behind the wall and creates a wedge back there. Also, just as you can imagine, all those brick just fractionally, brick don't bend, they break, just fractionally vibrating every day, multiple times a day. That's not helping your situation. That's just exacerbating the pull of that weight, and gonna make you have to spend a whole lot of money a whole lot faster. So a lot of times, if it's not dangerous yet, I'll say, hey, you know, let's give you a price for this. Let's come up with a plan for you, what you want to look at in the future, and then you work that into your budget. Some of them we've repaired. It's like a serious safety issue. The brick are already wanting to do this. They're rolling out. They're like this point, and it's like, don't even walk by it. You know, it's gotten that bad. So that's a like, hey, we need to get the weight off. If you don't have the money to put anything back, don't. But you've got to spend money to get that weight off, or somebody's going to get hurt. Most of them aren't that bad. Most of them are, we're noticing a crack. We're noticing it's scratching the middle of the garage door every time we open and close it. It's dented the middle of the garage door. That's usually kind of getting worse. Okay, don't use that garage door anymore. Let's save this money. Let's come up with a plan. So if it's like just like my first customer, theirs is just really a hairline crack. It hasn't even cracked through the ribbon around the garage door yet. It's like kind of just started right above that. So they're going to watch theirs. You know, Jesus may come back before theirs gets that bad. It just really depends on all the things. What if wall ties were used? If they were used properly, how much you open your garage door, like just all these things. But at some point, all of them, one day, will have to have all that weight taken off above the garage door. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's 1,000 brick. You know, ours is 20 foot tall. Well, sorry, you know, I didn't do this for you. But there are some people out there, so I'm going to stop right there. There are some people out there who will anchor in. They've got some, they call them Healy ties. They'll go in and anchor. I don't offer that as a solution around here because most of the time the framing isn't done right to support the Healy ties anyway. There's not good enough framing to put the Healy ties in to actually gain and support. I don't want to like give a false warranty for that kind of solution because it's, again, only going to be temporary. It's going to only hold the brick where there's actually framing. it's not a permanent solution. So you just spend a whole lot of money, and you still have maybe just like a longer term hide kind of thing. In other parts of the country, they have better building codes and all that. They could probably get by with that. But that's not the way it is around here. There's a lot of just shoddy work. A lot of people calling themselves builders who shouldn't be building. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. So, that's why we don't offer that kind of solution. We take all the weight off. A lot of times there's rotten wood behind. I'm not sure if you're hearing me. We're going to let your carpenter repair the rotten wood, and then put a brick, or a lot of times I just offer, like, maybe we should just do a stone, because you're not going to match your brick perfectly. Maybe you could have the brick stained, but at the end of the day, all that brick's got to come off at some point in your future, if you're in Northeast Arkansas for sure. So maybe that'll help you. We're here to help you if you want. Holler at me with more questions, but that's the kind of conversation we're going to have when you call and say, hey, I've got a crack over my garage. I'm just going to tell you what I have to tell everybody all day long, every day, because it's unfortunate that $7 or so could have prevented your problem, but these builders aren't doing that. Cities are not inspecting that, and it gets covered up and done because everybody's in a hurry, and then you pay the price. So I'm sorry that you're paying the price. We do use like screws in ours, and but we know commercial standards, and we follow that, and we don't say, oh, it's just a house. It's your most expensive investment, and we treat your house just like we would treat our house, even if you don't know or care. And these guys that you're paying per brick, you're not paying them to care. So that's just, another topic for another day. But if your lintel over your garage is starting to do this, and you're starting to get cracks on either side of your garage door, rewatch this video. This is for you, and this is what you're going to have to do. And if you're in Northeast Arkansas, we are happy to help you. I hope you have a good day. I hope this answers some questions or gives you something to think about. Thanks for everybody who joined on here, and we'll